Everyone, anyone confirm? Audible or not? Can you hear me? So where we stopped in the last session? Last session we discussed about functions, right? Last session we discussed about functions. So the next level discussion is about positional arguments. Before go with that, okay, let me recap all the things. Okay. So let me ask some questions. Okay. If you want to write or create a function to print your name. Okay, just I want to write a function to print your name in Python. So how we can write it? By using which keyword? By using which keyword we can create a function in Python? Def is the keyword or not. After that, your function name. After that, the function representation. The next one is like what? Okay, here up to here anyone can remember. But this is like a new thing comparing with other programming languages. Colon is nothing but in Python is what? It's like a block. Okay, the block started from here. Where I can, okay, how we can say the block ended here or not? How we can say after this column, how many statements in the sequence order follow the indentation? Those all statements or belongs to that block or not? Okay, see my statement. After this column, how many statements you want to write? Yes, you can write any number of statements, you can write it. Among those statements, how many statements follow the indentation? How many statements followed the indentation in the sequence order? Now, what is indentation? If it is like, what is indentation? Indentation is Python is nothing but just give one tab space, one tab. Just I click on the tab. Now, this statement I can say in Python followed the indentation. Like this in the sequence order, how many statements followed the indentation? Those statements are belongs to that particular block. Those statements are belongs to that particular block. Like that you can say. Got my point? So if you want to create a function in Python, def is the keyword, after that your function name, and then function representation, and then colon. Okay, colon is nothing but my function block started from here. Like this you can understand. In that particular block, how many statements are there? How we can come to know? Okay, how many statements followed the indentation in the sequence order? Why I said like a sequence order? If something is like the sequence missing, okay, and then another statement followed the indentation, that is like an error. Okay, we'll see that. So this function contains how many statements? Three statements or not? This function contains three statements. Now, this one is like valid syntax or not? The function whose name is like fn, which contains three statements. Inside that function block, inside that block, it contains three statements. Outside, two statements over there. That's okay, fine. Okay. This is like valid syntax or invalid syntax, 100% valid syntax. Now, if I write something like this, valid or invalid, if I write something like this, three statements in the sequence order followed the indentation. One statement not followed, so that my indentation break here. In this particular block, I can say like a three statements are there. That's okay, fine. The next statement, okay, after this one, the next statement followed the indentation, but any statement which followed the indentation not inside the block, then that time also you can get the error. The LA, okay, the statement followed the indentation, but not inside the block. See this? This statement followed the indentation. Yes, no. This statement followed the indentation, but my block ended here. So the statement followed the indentation, but not inside the block. So you can get the error or not. So two things you have to keep in your mind. One statement followed the indentation means that should be inside the block. That should be inside the block. The next vice versa. One statement, if you want to keep inside the block, that statement should follow the indentation. That is sequence order. That should be in the sequence order. So it gives me an error. It gives me an error. Okay, so make sure those statements keep in your mind. So write a function which should print your name. So how we can def fn, okay, function name, just I want to print. So if I write like print various, so valid or invalid, valid or invalid. If I write like this in Python, this valid, this is valid or invalid statement. This is invalid. Why? Because see the block started here. Inside the block, you not place any statements. In Python, minimum one statement should be there in the block. If it is not there, it gives an error. Okay, so in this case, there is no statements, nothing. That's the reason it gives me an error. So, which change you want me to do to make it like valid? This statement follow the indentation. So just make it like indent statement. So fn function block started here. Inside the block, one statement followed the indentation. The next statement is not there. That's okay, fine. The next statement is not there. That's okay, fine. Okay, done. Now, if I print like this, if I print like this, and if I print like this, what is the outputs? Here, what is the output? Here, what is the output? What is the output? Here, what is the output? And here, what is the output? Anyone? Hmm? Second one is like VTS. Okay. First one.
First one, Fn is not defined.
Okay. The answer is you're trying to print what? Fn. Fn is what? One function. So that it is just give you like a function. That's it. Okay. Some address, some location. Okay. Function with some location. Okay. Some location like this. What about this statement? What about this statement? Anyone? It gives me all fn so that it print VTS and then it is going to print none and then it is going to print none. So what is that none? Why it is printed like none? Let me execute it. Okay. Right. This is the Python. This is my fn. What do you want me to do first? Print the fn. Fn is what? Fn, only Fn. Fn is what? Fn is a function. Fn is a function. Okay, that allocated some memory like this. Allocated some memory somewhere. Now print Fn all. Print Fn all. What it is going to give? Now VTS printed and none printed. VTS and none. So why none? Can anyone? VTS is like expected only. Why none? Why none printed? Hmm? Why none printed? Don't know. Hmm? See, while calling a function, okay, it is going to give what? Some return value or not. Yes or no? While calling a function, the function is going to return some value. That's the basic statement. Here, you are doing what? You are calling a function or not? You are calling a function. You are calling a function. So this function is going to return some value or not. Default is what? While calling a function, that function returns me a value. But here tell me, while calling fn, is this function return anything?
No.
No, right? It's not written anything. If the function is not returning anything, the function is not returning anything. What is the default value in Python? You know, the default
None.
value is like none. So this fn call returns me return value of the function. What is the return value of the function? None. So print none or not. Okay, that is the second one. What about the first one? VTS. What about the first one? VTS. Hmm?
It's a print. We given the print.
You are calling a function, right? Whenever you call a function, the function body will execute or not. Function body will execute. In the function body, how many statements are there? Those many statements are going to execute. So first VTS executed. My return statement is like known return value, nothing, but still you are holding the value so that it returns me none. Okay, na? If I write something like this, if I write something like this, if I call fn, like this only, if I call, what happened? What is going to print? If I execute this statement only, like this one only, I'm directly executing. What is my output?
It's a 10.
Hmm? This statement only, if I execute directly, anything is going to print or not print. Is it like 10? Is it like print 10? Hmm? Anyone? At least one person. If you know any programming language, it's like normal. 10. No, not print anything. Why? It's not print anything. Why? First, why not VTS? Everyone knows. In any programming language, after the written statement, if you write any statements, those statements are like untraceable statements. Those statements are like what? Untraceable statements. Okay, done. Now, what you are doing here, line number 4, you are doing, you are calling, come on, you are
Not. You're calling the function fn.
calling a function. That's it. You are
But
calling a function. See, whenever you call a function, the function body will execute. The function body first statement is what? It is returning 10. Function call always returns me the value. That means function call always gives me the value. If they are giving, but you are not holding, right, that value. They are giving 10. Are you holding that value? Is my function call return value? Are you holding or not holding? No, right? That the reason, no error, they are giving something, but you are not using. That's okay. That is your wish. So it is not print anything. Now, if you want to print 10, what change is required in this code snippet?
created the variable and assigned that calling function to that variable.
Yeah, this statement gives me, okay, this statement giving me some value. No? That value you can hold it. How we can hold the value in any programming language? How we can hold some value using
Variables.
variable, right? In Python, how we can create a variable name and assign the value. And I want to print that one so that if I print it, I can get the value is like what, 10 or not. Agreed? Come on. Hmm? Okay. If I execute this statement, what happened? Will it give an error or not give me an error? If I execute this statement, will it give an error or not giving me any error?
It gives an error.
It gives an error. What is that error?
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. Remaining people, are you sure? Remaining people, are you sure? Name is not defined. He said. Remaining people, are you sure? But no error. Why? Because first of all, syntactically it is valid or invalid. Yes, syntactically valid. But the execution, when it is going to start, line number two, the execution when it is going to start, line number two, execution when it is going to start,
While
line
calling,
calling, right? Calling, right? Am I call this method anywhere? Am I
no.
call this method anywhere? No, right? So it is going to looking for syntactical change. For syntactical, it's valid or invalid. It is like 100% syntactically valid, no problem at all. Okay, but this statement is not executing. These are not only for Python. Any programming language, these rules are like come. Okay, now if you come here, okay, now if I call like this, no, your answer is correct. What's my output now? What is my output now?
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. Now the output is like name is not defined or not. Okay, na? So the point is, the statement is the function body is going to execute whenever you call the function. If you not call the function, the body is not execute. Okay, still there has some errors out there. That's okay, fine. Okay, na? Now what happened? Now what happened?
Syntax error.
It is like a syntax error, right? Okay. Now, if you observe here, print you opened but you not closed. Syntactically invalid or not? First, syntax is going to check for all the statements. My execution is going to start whenever it is required, but the syntax is going to check all the statements or not. That's all. Okay. So here it's like a syntactical change required here. Okay. Everyone. Okay, wherever you see this particular statement, okay, wherever you see this particular statement, what do you think about A? My A type is what?
It's a
My
function type.
Function.
A type is like a function. A should be a function, yes or no? A should be a function. Now, if you write something like this, A should be a function, but now A is what? Function, huh?
It's a
It's a
number.
variable.
Is a number. So it is like valid statement or invalid statement. What kind of error you can get it? Everyone knows that.
Integer object is not callable.
Integer object is not okay. That one everyone knows or not. Okay. Done. In Python, a function can return how many values? Function can return how many values?
Multiple.
Any number of values you can return. Any number of values you can return. So, how we can pass some data to the function? Through
Arguments.
programming language, how we can pass the data to the function? How we can pass the values to the function? How we can pass the values?
By arguments.
When you can pass the values? While calling, right?
While calling.
While calling, you can pass the values. These values, how we can hold in Python? At the time of definition, okay, you can hold those values or not. How we can hold one value in any programming language with one variable or not? Yes or no? So how many values you are passing? Two values. So that first position, what is my value? Come on, n1. Okay, first position. Okay, in my n1 position, what is the value? 10. Okay, second position 20, go to where? Hold with what? N2 or not? Yes or no? So in general, in any programming language, you can pass the data to the function while calling. You can hold the data at the time of define the function itself. We can mention some arguments or parameters like this or not. This is like syntax may be different, but this is like common for all the programming languages or not. Yes or no? Got the point? Now, the first position value n1, second position, okay, that means first position value 10, hold with n1, second position value 20, okay, hold with n2 or not. Okay, now wherever you pass the data to the function, okay, first position value, second position value, third position like this, you can pass any number of values or not. So wherever you see this kind of syntax, these arguments are there, right? Okay, we have the name. Okay, these are like arguments only. We have the separate name is like a positional argument. First position, okay, this is the argument, hold 10. Second position, this is the argument, hold 20, like this or not. Okay, in general, the function with the arguments, those are like positional arguments only by default. By default, it's like a positional arguments only. So here there has multiple error messages you have to remember. One error message, okay, in this case, one error message in this case. Okay, now here no error message. Here no error message. Understood? Here you can get one error. Here also you can get one error. Here no error. Okay, no error. It means what? It's expecting two positions. Okay, the values expecting first position and second position. Two positions, it is expecting two values or not. But here what you did, you supplied the value for first position argument, but not second one. But here what you did, first position, second position, third position argument also you supplied the value, but that person, third position argument is not there. So here you can get an error. Here also you can get an error. So here, what kind of error you can get it? The error message, very important. Okay, not now, in future. Okay, this error message frequently you can see. Okay, by seeing that error message, you can come to know like what kind of fix is required, like that you can come to. Here, fn of 10 comma 20. No error, nothing. No error, nothing. If I remove this one, in your own words, tell me.
Mixing one
Fn
required position or
required two positional arguments. How many you supplied?
One.
One.
Supplied or not? So same error you can get it. See, Fn missing one required positional argument. Okay, see, similar kind of message only. Fn missing one required positional argument or not? What is that? End. Okay, here expecting how many positional arguments? First one, second one. But the second one missing the value or not. So missing one required positional argument n2 or not. So Here n2 is like what? One positional argument, n1 also positional argument. You supplied the value for the n1 positional argument, but you not supplied the value for the n2 positional argument or not. Understood? Yes or no? Okay, are you able to remember this one? Now onwards. Missing. Okay, it is expecting how many positional arguments? Tell me. Two. How many values it is expecting? First positional argument one value, second positional argument one value. Yes or no? Okay, but missing which one? Second one or not? So Fn or missing one required positional parameter n2 or not. Done. Next, like this. Fn take how many positional arguments?
2.
2. But supplied how many values? How many values given?
3.
Given. That the reason. Now can you read it? Fn take 2 positional arguments only, but 3 were given or not. So in Python, okay, in Java, in .NET, whenever you define a function with how many parameters, those many values you have to pass. But in JavaScript, not like that. Got the point? So the first one, error message is what? Come on.
Missing position.
Required positional argument n2. Required positional argument n2 or not. Yes or no? Fn missing one required positional argument n2. Fn take 2 positional
Positional
arguments,
argument.
but 3 were given or not. Fn take 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given or not. Understood? Got the point? We're okay? Up to here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so understood right about the positional argument? Okay, no need much discussion. Function with arguments, those arguments we can say like a positional arguments only or not. That's all. So with how many arguments you are defined a function, those many arguments, those many values you have to supply. If you not supply proper values, then the time you can get the errors. You can get the errors. Okay. You can avoid this error. How we can avoid, we'll see that one later. Okay. What is the next one? The next argument is what? Default argument. Next argument is what? Default argument. What is the default argument? Again, the name itself, you can get the answer from the name itself. Come on. Default. Anyone tell me? Bring to me yes. Is it valid or invalid syntax?
Valid.
Okay, it is like 100% valid. No syntax error, nothing. If I call this fn, what is my output? If I call this fn, what
VTS.
is my output? Okay, don't think like pass is like a return statement. Pass is like no statement. In this one, nothing is there to execute. Okay, another statement is that statement you can execute no problem at all as usual. Understood? Okay. Okay then. Now here n1 and n2 is there. Just I want to print n1 n2. Okay. N1 n2. If you pass like a 10, 20, everyone knows these values are like a 10, 20. Okay. Now my question is what, my second positional argument value always 20 only. For example, first one is going to change. First one is going to change. If you observe all these statements, okay, the second argument value is what? Second argument value is what?
20.
20, 20 only or not. So if the second argument value is like common for all the calls, instead of passing, okay, if you pass, you can pass. Okay, instead of passing, can you set the default value for the N2 is like 20? Can you set the default value for my second parameter is like what? 20. Okay, how we can set the default value for the second positional argument? How we can set it? How we can set it? Anyone knows? Now, what error you can get it? Everyone knows. Missing one required positional argument N2. Missing one required positional argument N2. My N2 value is like always 20 na. Instead of passing individual N2 value 20, can you assign the value is like 20 at the time of defining the function? At the time of defining the function itself, can you assign the value is like 20? Now, my fn value, first value is like 10, second value you not passed. If you not pass, then that time my n2 value is like what? My default value is taking or not? Yes or no? Understood? So at the time of defining a function, you can set the value to the variable or not. Value to the argument, I mean, value to the argument. If you set the value to the argument, that argument value, that particular one is like a default argument, default value argument. That one is
Sir,
like
if
what?
I want to print this output in next line, should I need to use println?
Okay, here, okay, this is this editor. Okay, actually, this editor is not support for the next line. Okay, it is showing the data is like okay in a single line. Okay, there is an issue with that. We removed.
Okay. Are you using span?
Which one? Okay, can you repeat again? Here?
Are you using span? Because
No,
it
no,
is
not like that. Okay, in the editor, we are sending a request and get the response. That response directly we printed without any special characters like slash and those all are like replaced. That's the reason it is looking like this. Okay.
I think she's asking about are you using any span tag?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, here, let me show you real quickly. Inspect it. Let's go to the network. Click on this one. Okay, it is on request go to the editor.php, the payload of your data, okay, your program. And if you come here, this is the output I can get it. Okay, na this slash and so I replaced and I printed like this. I replaced those slash ends with some space, empty space. That's the reason these all are like rendered like in a single line. Got my point?
yes, sir.
Okay, if you want this one, okay, then that time just you have to use like what? In React. I want
Div.
danger HTML is there, na? Text danger HTML on property. By using that property, you have to display this. Then that time it is going to render like a normal HTML text. Okay, but we replaced this one. That's the reason everything is like in a single line. Understood, right?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay, then. Now, can I write like this? What's my output? Okay, if I write something like this, what's my output?
The same output what we are getting.
Same output means 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20 like that. This is the output, the same output, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because when the default value is going to work means if you not pass the value, then only it is going to work. Okay, if you pass, it is going to give the priority to your value. Now, no,
It gives the error.
it gives an error. What is that error?
Missing one required position N2.
Missing one positioner. Okay. Now the first thing is like it is not executed syntactical. It is
It
wrong.
is invalid.
Technically invalid. What is that? The parameter without default values, without default is nothing but here n2 should follow the parameter with default. That means, okay, n2 should follow the default parameters, not, okay, default parameters should not follow n2. N2 should follow default parameters. But here what happened? The default parameters is like following n2 or not. So it is like syntactical error. So make sure whenever you define a default values, those default values are always lost. Okay. Before that, you can put like normal positional arguments or not. Sorry. Got my point. Any questions up to here? What are the default? Any questions?
No, sir. It's clear.
The next one. Keyword arguments. The next one is like what? Keyword arguments. Okay. So tell me. Positional and default at the time of defining. At the time of defining only, we can mention this is like a positional arguments, it's like a default arguments like this. When now at the time of defining the function. What about the keyword arguments? See this. N1 comma name comma location. Name comma location. Okay. If I write Mumbai comma such valid or invalid. Valid or invalid.
Valid.
It is like 100% valid. But here, what is the name?
Mumbai.
Name is like a Mumbai. My location is like a Sachin or not. My name is like a Mumbai and my location is like a Sachin. Sachin. So whenever you use like a positional argument, if you want to supply the values, okay, first position, which value you have to supply, the same value you have to supply. If you swap or if you change something, that is affected or not. That's all. Got my point? Okay, so in this case, order matters or not? In this case, order matters or not? Yes. Okay, so first you should have to place such an only. Next, you have to make it like Mumbai. But while calling a function, you can pass the values directly like this. Another way also there, we can pass the values with their keys. The position argument names are there, na? Those are like a keys. With the keys, we can pass the values. Now, my name equals to Sachin and my location equals to Mumbai. Mumbai. Now, if you come here, now see, it is valid. The name key, wherever it is, okay, Sachin is like assigned to that. My location key, wherever it is, my Mumbai is assigned to that particular positional argument. Now, if you come here, if I change the order, will it affect on your output or not affect? Will it affect or not affect?
Not affect.
It's not affect, right? Well, because based on the key, okay, based on the key, just it is going to assign the values or not. Based on the key, assign the values or not. So understood everyone? Okay, then. Now, if I write something like this, name equals to Sachin, okay, Now here, if I pass like Mumbai, will it work or not work? Will it work or not work? Will it work or not work? Syntax
It will work.
valid and invalid. It is syntax error first of all. Okay, here also same. Okay, now here this is my positional argument value, right? So this positional argument value should follow the keyword arguments, not the keyword argument follow the positional argument value or not. Yes or no? So that you have to first keep this value and then this value. Okay, now tell me, you can get the syntax error or you can get some different error. If it is like different error, what is that error? Anyone? First value go to where? Name. The second keyword argument also go to where?
Name.
Name. Are you supplying any value to my location?
No.
No. If you not pass the value to the location, positional argument, what error you can get it? Come on. Fn got multiple values for the argument of what? Name or not. Okay, Fn got multiple values for which argument? You get like multiple values.
Name.
Come on, name. You got like multiple values for the name or not. So pass the multiple values for the same positional argument also invalid or not. Okay. Come on. So this is the way we can pass the position. Okay, you can pass the values in the keyword arguments format or not. Keyword arguments format or not. So one point is common. Default and keyword. What is that one? Default and keyword arguments would be at last. Yes or no? Positional and default at the time of defining the function we can. Okay, keyword arguments at the time of calling the function or not. Keyword arguments at the time of calling the function or not. Understood? Here, okay, three arguments. One is like positional, another one is like default, and another one is like a keyword. The next one is like variable length argument. The next one is like variable length argument. Okay. So we can continue tomorrow. Okay. This one, variable length argument. So I'm going to share you the videos in the group. Just go through the videos. So it's like newcomers. But just you can go through those videos. Okay. So far, any questions, anyone? Anyone have any questions?
Sir, so this Kalam website only we can practice, right? Everything.
Yeah, you can practice. Okay. Python, you can practice here. Okay. Java, you can practice. HTML, JavaScript, React, TypeScript. You can practice all.
Is it paid one?
No. It's like open source. So our running notes and everything, I'm going to add the data science. Okay. Because another Python batch is running, so that this batch running nodes I want to add here. Let me take the running nodes, cut it, and paste it. Okay, so go to the Kalam schools. Go to the Kalam schools and go to data science with AI. Okay, not full stack Python. Full stack Python is like different batch. Go to data science with AI. Okay, in the data science with AI, okay, you can see our running notes. Okay, if you want running notes, you can download from here. Class programs, okay, not yet uploaded, we can upload. Okay, in future, whenever it's required, we are going to upload the class programs. Okay, agreed?
Yeah.
So this is the running notes. just you can go through this. Okay, if you want to practice, simply you can practice here. If you find some errors, okay, this is we develop this editor. If you find some errors, just let us know so that we can fix that error. Okay, na? While practicing, you are expecting something, you written the program like correctly, but you are getting like an expected result, maybe editor issue. So let us know so we can fix that issue. Okay, na? Okay then, thank you guys.